Okay, this is gonna be a short video to answer a couple questions I know people are really curious about, at least I was, about the upcoming STALKER 2 update. First, how big the performance gains are with the engine upgrade, and does this upgrade also solve all the graphical issues we've had pretty much since release, like lumen, the wonky lighting, and a lot of other systemic problems. This update completely changes the overall look of the game too, so I will have a lot of before and after comparisons so you can really see the difference. Keep in mind, all of this is done on a pre-release review version of the game, and there might be some last-minute patches and updates before the actual release. And second, I wanted to show the state of ALife and to some extent the AI behavior of enemies, because this update brings another rework of ALife, this system that simulates life in the zone to feel realistic and immersive. It's a core mechanic of the game that still to this day hasn't really felt good, so we'll see if we reach a satisfying point or not. This update is pretty much two things bundled together: the 2.0 update with the move to Unreal Engine 554 and a laundry list of fixes, improvements similar to what we had in big patches in the past, but much bigger in size. That's mainly what we're going to talk about in this video. And then you have the DLC that brings the new content and the new Cost of Hope storyline. This I won't talk about or show too much of actually. I played the full story and you should experience it for yourself. If you want to watch some gameplay and rob yourself of the excitement of experiencing it for the first time, that's your problem, but I don't want to be part of it. I'm just gonna say the new locations are amazing. It's a mix of old and familiar and unexpected at the same time. Visiting Lab X16 again was wild, and giving some meat finally to duty, freedom, and some real faction dynamics and important choices you have to make in the middle of all that is great. It really gave me the feeling that the devs kinda got the weight of coming out with the base game off their shoulders. All this pressure of making the new STALKER is behind them, and they're having much more fun with the DLC. The writing is great, the cutscenes are much more cinematic and emotional. I loved a lot of the characters. You can really see they're feeling much more comfortable, building on top of everything that's been established now. Anyways, if you liked the STALKER 2 story, you will really enjoy the DLC and this new storyline, no doubt about that. That's all I'm gonna say. There's new weapons, new attachments and scopes, we finally get binoculars, there's a brand new customizable difficulty mod so you can choose exactly how you want to be challenged by the zone and fine-tune everything to your liking. In my opinion, in terms of content, it's definitely worth it. I know a lot of people are wondering should they start a new playthrough for the DLC or will it be available to them if they already progressed a lot in the game. Here I have to say, no matter what your situation, GSC got you covered and they did this in a very smart way. Your saves will tell you exactly if you can access the DLC storyline or not. By the way, here's a look at the new save menu that's much more detailed. And if you passed the point of no return, you have the option to go back there to be able to experience everything in the same playthrough. You can even jump straight into the DLC content if you want to, so no matter what your situation is, you should be fine. You will receive a radio message that tells you that someone just came back from the Iron Forest and you can meet him in S.T.A.L.K.E.R. You grab a couple beer with him and that's how you get started with the new storyline. Most mods will be broken on release, this is completely normal and to be expected, and you're going to have to wait for each mod author to update them. I'm just stating the obvious here, but I can already see people complaining for no reason. Okay, enough with introductions, let's talk performance and graphics. So, do we have performance gains with this engine upgrade? Yes. Is it big gains? Not really. Is it life-changing? No. Is it suddenly going to make the game run great on your potato? Absolutely not. I tested around 20 scenes for this video. It ranges from no difference to 10-12 FPS gain at best. So it's still good, it's definitely noticeable, but it's not a life-changing amount. What's life-changing though, and I have to give the devs props for that, are the optimizations around the big hubs like Rostock or S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Here I've seen big performance gains, up to 20 FPS in some cases. That one is huge. But for the game overall, if you average all places, it's more modest gains. But frame rate is not everything, the frame times are slightly better and the game is definitely less stuttery. It's a much smoother experience in general, so they definitely did more optimization under the hood, probably thanks to the newer engine version. By the way, all these tests are done with a 5080 on epic settings for everything, DLSS quality, no frame gen, and QHD resolution. I did some testing on my Potato, my laptop with a 360, with everything on medium settings in regular HD, like 1080p. I did not try to tinker or play with the settings to optimize anything, I just put everything on medium and DLSS performance, still no frame gen. The performance gain is around the same, around 10 FPS, but you can see all the visual glitches, the shimmering, blurriness. I'm kinda disappointed. For people playing on lower specs, because I was one of them for the longest time, I mean, look at this. I truly hoped this engine upgrade would bring a more stable image, let's say, at lower setting, but yeah, it still looks very funky and glitchy. I managed to get a very stable 60 FPS though, which was definitely not the case before, but I just wished it looked better, yeah. The game definitely feels a bit more snappy though. This weird input-like feeling that you're crawling through mud every action your character takes is still here, but it's getting much better. I think that's going to be the main theme of this video. To be fair, the core issues are still here, but it's getting better. So yeah, small performance gains overall, but the game looks so much better than I'm not even mad, because here the difference is crazy. The new color palette is much more vibrant. It's definitely not gonna please everyone, and I'm one of them. I personally don't like it. I want my zone to be sad and muted with very bleak, desaturated colors, but this is something that will be very easy to change with mods. And that's my only issue, because overall, all the other graphical changes are making a game that was already looking great absolutely stunning now. The first thing you will probably notice is how they completely reworked all the landscape, the foliage and grass, terrains. The zone feels much more lush and overgrown, which is exactly the feel you want for a semi-abandoned place where nature is taking over. There's fog now, that's always great for the atmosphere. It's either lingering around for the mood, or it can get really thick and will influence gameplay. NPCs will have reduced vision and awareness during thick fog events. And there's been a full lighting rework. The sun rays and shadows are much better and realistic, the reflections too. You can clearly see there's still some problems. Like I said, the theme of this video is going to be core issues are still here, but it's getting much better. As you can see, it's not perfect, but you can't deny it's such a big improvement at the same time. It's actually much more than I was expecting, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. The transition from very dark places to light one has been improved a lot. I think that's the best example I found here to show it, and overall the lighting inside is much more subtle and realistic. There are still some visual glitches, shimmering in the grass, texture popping to life when you get close, but it's getting less distracting. My best way to summarize all of this is that before this patch the game looked great with lots of visual glitches, and now the game is starting to look amazing with some smaller glitches. Big visual improvements across the board and modest performance gains, that's a clear win in my view. I mean, look at this, there are still issues, but the game looks insane. Oh, and I did some testing for the flashlight. I can't really see any difference. The lighting looks better with the update in general, but I don't think anything changed. And it will cost you around 5 FPS to have your flashlight on. Actually, I just noticed that, and it's not new, apparently it's always been the case. Anyways, moving on. Okay, let's move to ALife, spawn bubble and all that jazz. First, let's make it clear, the bubble around you is still exactly 100 meters, and the new binoculars, that are really cool by the way, but that's not the point, make that unfortunately painfully obvious. That's probably why they're not binocularing that much anyways. If you could zoom in even more, that would be even more obvious. I was really hoping they could extend the bubble, I don't know, to at least 150 meters. I think that's how much it was in the original trilogy, but yeah, it's still not the case. In terms of ALife, it's kind of a mixed bag too. They did add a lot of point of interest, like bus stops, campfires, a lot of different buildings where roaming patrols will naturally converge to rest and stop for a while, which kind of creates organic encounters and fights. Same for mutants that seem to really like some territories, and when NPCs patrols get close, they will get attacked this way. I followed a couple groups I met in the wild, and yeah, they do roam around, they get into fights, they loot each other, they stop at hubs, you can leave, come back later, and you will meet them again if they survive, so the base mechanic is working pretty well. But I think only relying on that would make the zone feel a bit too empty, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your opinion. But I'm assuming for the devs they want more life in the zone, so you still have some random events spawning right outside of your vision bubble to create some artificial action and encounters. They are very obvious, they feel very staged, and yes, having a poltergeist spawn not too far after you finished a big fight between two patrols and he starts throwing bodies at you is pretty fun, but it still feels kind of fake. So again, I'm sorry, but core issues are still here, but there's clear improvements. To be fair, it's definitely better. On the old patch, I keep having freaking bandits or mutants spawn on top of me while I'm trying to record some footage. On the new update, it really doesn't happen anymore, so there's clearly some improvements. The AI during combat is getting a bit better, I feel. They seem to make better decisions, but they are very slow at making them, so they look dumb pretty often. But at least all the issues like shooting through walls, places with like 50 burrows, and poltergeist being able to throw shit at you from anywhere are all fixed. Oh, and the new stats page is really cool, where you can track pretty much everything you do during your playthrough. So yeah, that was my quick overview. The game is definitely starting to look absolutely stunning, the performance is a bit better, there's still a lot of issues and little glitches, but it's much better and much less distracting. The spawn bubble and view distances still suck, ALife rework is meh again, the new DLC locations are amazing, and the new questline is pretty solid. Overall, I feel it's a great update and I will definitely recommend it, and I hope we're going back to multiple regular patches in the near future to improve the last things that need it, and no more radio silence for like 6 months like we just had, because that was kind of crazy. Okay, I'm out. I'm taking a break from YouTube. I will see you all in like 2 months or something. I hope we'll have some crazy new mods for the game when I come back, maybe already a couple patches, we'll see. Okay, cheers.